So good morning, good afternoon, Antoine. Can I say good morning because you're located in Peru? Could you introduce yourself, Antoine, and what do you do and where do you live currently?
Well, my name is Antoine. I'm a Swiss Peruvian. I studied at the EHL, as yourself, then did a master in Lausanne in the university. I moved to Peru in '94, worked in several hotels. I did the construction of the Hotel Oro Verde as an assistant manager, which is now called Swiss Hotel. And then I moved to Cusco to open my own hotel. And you can only access Machu Picchu by train. There are no roads, no nothing.
From Cusco?
Yes, it's in the middle of the, not of the jungle, but on the side of the Andes that go to the jungle.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So you have a small, you own a small hotel in Cusco, which is where there is Machu Picchu is. So could you tell me, Antoine, when did you realize that COVID-19 was really something serious, that's something we never seen before, and that might affect your business, obviously?
I think it was when the cases of contagious in Italy started to raise and they decided to lock down, close the borders. Then I thought, well, those are our guests. They come from Europe, they come to the United States, few from Asia, but this is the core of our business. So with airlines grounded and border closed, I thought, this is going wrong. It's not only back there, far away in China, as some other epidemics happened. I saw, this one is different.
It's really when it was far Asia in China, you didn't think it was going to affect because you're really far away. But when it's touched Europe and it's affect Europe, then you really realize that might affect Peru.
Yes.
Okay. And when did it really affect your business? Because you have been touched after Europe, I believe.
Yes, the affected business when the airlines started to be grounded and Europe started to close borders. Okay. So then cancellations started to come on a slow pace, every time faster. And then Peru's mandatory lockdown on March 16. That was the end of it because all our business is touristic. 95% of our reservation come from tourism, only 5% corporate. And most of them come from Europe and the United States and Latin America. So there was no point to remain open with only locals.
Okay, so actually you had the same day of the lockdown that in France, the March 16, I believe, in Europe.
Yes.
Okay, so it was at the same time. So early, you had already some cases in Peru at that time? Or it was just by precaution?
The first case in Peru was March 6th.
Do you have already a date when they are supposed to open again?
We have 4 phases. The first one has started last week, but not to the public, only for companies and specific companies, restaurant deliveries, for example.
Okay. What was the first decision, actually? What did you do as soon as you knew that? You were in Lima or you were in Cusco in your hotel?
That took me in Lima because I live in Lima and the hotel is from Lima to Cusco, it's 1,000 kilometers. So it's 1 hour flight. It took me in Lima where I live. And first decision was to take the decision, okay, what do I do with the hotel? Mm-hmm. Having no guests, we decided to close and also not expose my staff to the health problems, as the masks and gloves and all those things were not in quantities that could be requested. Cusco is a very, very isolated town.
So have you been able to do any action you were able to take to reduce your costs?
Yes. closing the hotel was one of the big ones. Cut down water, electricity, gas. And then the Peruvian government allowed us to put on hold staff contract without salaries. So that was my biggest expense at that time. So we took that option, very difficult decision to make, to tell all your staff that some of them worked 20 years for me, some other few months. Tell them, sorry, we cannot do anything else. Those are the options. We as a team have to make a decision.
So that means concretely, they still have their job, but they are not paid, correct? That's what you are, and
correct.
There's no support from the government to pay. Do they have support you as a business owner for your business and for your staff or not?
The government helped with 30% of the salaries, but that's not enough. That's not enough.
Okay,
so with that option, making some calculation, I could foresee that I would go to bankruptcy in October.